copyright because that would be bad. Okay. Anyway, hello, guys. Sorry for the drastic.
And now we're live.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry about that delay, you guys. One of our cast members is having issues, but she will be here hopefully shortly. So anyway, so what? Yeah. So welcome to the very first live stream of what I like to call Theater 101. So I'm gonna let everyone introduce themselves, and y'all can get to say a fun fact like the theater show, or why you like theater, or anything like that. So, Mike, why don't you go first?
Well, I am Orlando Mike. I'm primarily a vlogger, streamer at Walt Disney World, and my favorite musical is Phantom of the Opera. My favorite Disney musical, I would have to say, is Aladdin.
Okay.
Well, hi guys, I'm Brianna of Brianna Takes 5. I am also a vlogger slash live streamer in the theme parks, mostly Disney, Universal, occasionally SeaWorld. My favorite Broadway musical was actually Wicked because that was the first musical I went to. And if I had to say another, if I'd say Disney, it would be The Lion King because that was the only Disney Broadway musical I've seen, but also I'm a huge fan of The Lion King, and I love it very much.
Okay, so as y'all know who I am. Hang on, Mike, she was, but the whole same thing happened again. Like the video and her audio wasn't, like, said her device wasn't connected. Anyway, so y'all know who I am. I'm Liz. A lot of my live streams were at Disney because I was doing the college program. I haven't been posting a lot because I've been busy with school and all that. I'm with Brianna. My favorite Broadway show is probably a tie between Wicked and Ghost. My favorite Disney one is Frozen because, you know, if y'all know me, I know you know I love Frozen. So basically, what this series is, that we have Brianna and Mike, and hopefully Mitchell will be joining us soon, and hopefully the others. They love theater, and so I was like, hey, why don't we just do a little series about like kind of like what we did with Wicked on Mike's channel. Y'all can go ahead and check that out on his channel. So hopefully we'll do a Wicked one on my channel because, you know, since I love Wicked more than him. Anyway, point is, we're like doing a little like view of theater, kind of like what it is. Obviously, we all know what it is. Like kind of detail, like, and we have some Orlando and Brianna. I told them to think of some questions they have for theater, and that's pretty much all. So we're gonna try to do these as often as we can. The next one we're gonna do is gonna be for Phantom of the Opera. So if y'all have seen the Broadway the show or the movie, feel free to take notes, like, and come join us for that, and you guys can talk about it with us and all that fun stuff. So let's get right into the questions. So first off, I'm majoring in theater right now, tech theater to be more exact. So my knowledge of theater goes back to high school. So I have experience with building sets, little on costume, but more on like the designing and technical aspect of theater. So that's how I'm here to basically share my theater knowledge with you guys. So we're gonna get right into the questions, y'all. So who wants to go? Who wants to kick us off with what?
I guess we just go in order, so it would be like me, Brianna, Michelle when she joins us.
Is she still trying?
Yeah, she's still trying. I told her to try and get in on her phone to see if that works.
Okay.
Clearly, her computer is just giving up on her.
Okay.
Okay, so this is my first question. This is a bit of a long one. So, what takes more preparation during pre-production for a show? Set design, lighting, audio, casting, costuming, hair and makeup, special effects, or props?
Which takes longer?
Mm-hmm. Or is it all an even process?
From my knowledge, they all work hand in hand. So sometimes like the costumes can't really start designing until like they have a good idea of what, like, everyone reads the script obviously, And the set designers, they can't go until they get the script because they design it based off what the script says and all that. So it all relies on when they get the script and when they actually sit down with the director and do what they want to do. From my knowledge and my experience, because I did Les Miserables in high school, and then I didn't really have a hand in this musical, and I really wish I had because I'm obsessed with it. My college did the Addams Family musical, and then we did Midsummer this past January, late January, early February. But my favorite days, the set took a long time to paint. Mainly because we didn't have a lot of people wanting to help. But I'd have to say the main things that took the longest was the set designing, the lighting. And because the lighting has to rely on the set and the costumes, make sure they don't mess up the coloring of the costume, and the sound are probably the top 3 things that take the top 4 things that take the longest. Does that answer your question a little bit? I hope.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brianna?
Well, considering I haven't even been in a musical since high school. Well, I haven't been in one since high school, and even then, we just used our own clothes, and we had maybe 1 or 2 costume changes. But I'm sure that's way different from college. So, like, I know it depends on the show, but how difficult is it to change from one costume to another, depending on which performance you're doing, like which play or musical, you could say?
Well, the interesting thing about that is it does depend on the show. Like this is like two totally different shows on two totally different sides of the spectrum. But like with Wicked, they have quick changes, so they have to be able to take slowly and also able to move quicker. I know for when we did the Addams Family production, and I don't want to go too much into it because when we were thinking about the Addams Family, and I know. Same thing. She's in the green room, but her camera and her mic aren't connected. Anyway, I know we had Wednesday and Morticia had 2 costumes. And so with Morticia, there's a tango that she has to do with Gomez, which, by the way, is amazing. I'm sorry, just saying. And she has to be able to remove the bottom half of her dress, like her skin tight dress. And so we made it so that it was a magnet, so that she can easily clip it on and clip it off whenever she needed to. And so sometimes they'll do changes on stage, depending on if they can make it work into the choreography, sort of. And other times, if it's a quick, like they have to be dressers who are the people who help them into the costumes, help them get out of the costumes and take care of the costumes, which is what I want to do. Sometimes they have to be in the wings, ready to go, because that actor or actress is gonna have to be right back on stage in like less than a minute. So does that answer your question? I think I kind of went on a rant.
It kind of did, yes. It kind of did. That was actually a really good example. I didn't realize that you could do that and have magnets on a dress. But hey, theater.
So we actually had her. Oh, I don't want to go into this because I want to save it for the Addams Family show. But anyway, she had
Save it for the Addams Family show.
Okay.
But yes, that didn't answer my question.
Did you see the picture that Michelle just sent us? Because I kind of got out of it too quickly. I wasn't able to see what it.
No, I have my phone on vibrate, so I haven't seen anything. I didn't even.
Yeah. Hang on, let me have her send it again.
Okay, hang on. Let me.
All right, Mike, go ahead. You next.
All right.
So, sorry, y'all. We're trying to multitask here, so.
Okay, yeah, I just saw it.
As we say, waiting for Mike to ask his next question.
Sorry. I just told her to try on her phone because clearly her computer has given up.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my next question is,
I hear my mouth.
how long will a cast get to rehearse a show? Or does it depend on the show?
Dang, that was my question.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that one more time.
How long does it take for a cast to rehearse a show, depending on which show it is. That was his question.
Okay, so again, it all depends on the show. A lot of the time, like musicals, they obviously have to rehearse a lot more often because they have the dance steps they have to learn, and they have to also learn the lyrics of the songs and all that. But and other times, like if you like with one acts, when our school does one acts, so we'll meet like once or twice a week, do like an hour-long rehearsal, and that's really it. But the closer you get to the actual like production day, we have what we call, which I just learned this past semester. They're called Q to Q days, and those are the most fun because literally the stage crew who do all like the flying, like the effects backstage, they literally come in and they're like the first audience that the actors get to see. So they literally do they go Q by Q. Like it literally takes like 12 hours to do the entire show. And so the closer you get to the actual production day, the more the actual like opening night, I guess you can say. Well, you have to say because that's what it's called. They'll rehearse more and more and more. I know Adams. Oh, I think I don't know. No, not Adams. Was it Midsummer? They rehearsed from like 3 in the afternoon to like. Oh, I don't want to get this wrong. To like maybe 10, like 3 or 4 times a night. 3 or 4 times a week. But then when it got closer, they I'm trying to add Michelle. It's like I see her in the thing about it, but it just says your guests will need to connect their mic camera before you can add them into the stream. Anyway, so it all depends on the production. Like one act, they probably don't have to rehearse as much. Musicals, they have to rehearse a lot. I'm not sure how often they rehearsed for the Addams Family because I wasn't really paying attention because I wasn't interested in seeing it, and then I had to see it for a class. But anyway, and then like Shakespeare, like Midsummer, they rehearsed a lot because the dialect from the dialect from that century or time era is really hard and tricky to get. So stuff like that, they would have to rehearse more time. Does that make sense? Like the more complicated the show, the more often they're going to rehearse until they feel confident enough to be like, okay, because at the beginning, like the directors usually like you be off script within the first week. So like 1 week of rehearsals with scripts, and like by then they would like you to be off script or off book, which means you rehearse without the script, obviously. But other than that, like they're very lenient at my school because they know that we're all just students and we're trying our best. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, it's my turn. Okay. Gosh, you stole my question too. Great. Mine's yeah, okay, Mike. Oh yeah, speaking of dance choreography with music, as far as musicals are concerned, do they kind of switch that around for certain actors? Because I know with Newsies, Jeremy Jordan isn't really much of a dancer, so he wasn't in that big dance number. So if there's an actor, yeah. So if if there's an actor that is perfect for the role but can't dance, they just switch the number around to where they're not in it. And how would that delay the dance rehearsals?
To my knowledge, I've never had the experience having that kind of thing. I know from my Les Miserables in high school, we liked our actors and actresses to do the best they can, and if they have like I don't want to say disability, but if they're like the challenge, I guess I don't know the nice way of saying that, but like if there's a number in the dance routine that they're incapable of doing. Like a lot of the time I know like so you're having issues? Okay, sorry, I just saw my message on Instagram. I think they try to work with especially if they're like a main character, they'll try their best to work around them. They can like to try and make it so that they can still be within the number, because if they're a key factor in the number, you don't want to take the main character out because it will be kind of confusing. And so
Right.
work with them and try to limit their movement. I'm trying to think of an example. Dang, I can't think of an example.
Because I know in Newsies, when it was the Seize the Day number, I know Jeremy Jordan wasn't really in it because he's not that good of a dancer, but he was still perfect for the role. So I know they did that with him. I know that's how Broadway tends to do it, especially when it's a big star like Jeremy Jordan. But
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about college. I know in high school they won't do that nonsense. At least the high school I went to, anyway. And that was a performing arts school.
See,
But
even in college, they try to encourage you to at least try the number before,
Right.
like, even if you're not a dancer. Like, I'm not a dancer at all. I cannot, like, the only reason why I know the dance from the Addams number is because I've seen it so many times. Like, I recorded the cast doing it for a friend's project. So that's the only reason why I know that the whole dance number is because I've seen it enough times. And I
right.
kind of know, like, the hold down, throw down, or like right into. I know these dancers. I've watched them enough. But, like, off the top of my head, I cannot dance. I can barely floss without, like, the little floss dance. I can
I
barely.
can't even floss, so don't worry about it.
So,
I can't even twerk. So.
Oh, I can't either. I don't even have the butt for that. But anyway, they try to encourage you. Okay, at least try the whole dance number as best as you can. And if you can't do it, then they'll work with you either to help you learn how to do it, or they'll I don't want to call this. Somebody from one of our productions didn't know how to do a certain dance move, and so they literally taught him how to do the dance move before opening night. So by the end of like the dance rehearsal process, he was able to do the entire number because he knew how to do that last little movement. So it's very vague, so I don't want to call them out. So in case they see this, which I really hope they don't, but anyway. So yeah, so the choreographers will usually work. We usually work with that actor or actress who may have difficulty doing that certain move or whatnot, or they'll work around them so that way they can still stay in the number. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, coolio. Oh, I'm like shaking this thing. Okay, anyway. Michael.
I thought I was the only one that said Coolio in the world.
Okay, this shows you how old I am, because I actually know for a fact that Coolio was a rapper from like the 90s.
Honey, I'm older than you. So
Again,
and you probably don't even know who Coolio is, Brianna.
Yes, I do. You start on all that. I know who Coolio is. I used to listen to him all the time. Just because I don't rap anymore.
She's popping up. It's just that she needs to turn on her mic and her camera.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what issues she's having. I'm just gonna try to tell her to use Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, try another program. Okay. Anyway, Mike.
Hold on. Internet,
I'm like
browser, other,
my beautiful notes here that I've taken.
Chrome.
Like
there.
no.
Okay. So you and your notes.
Well, yeah, because I'm an online. I have a list of all like different musicals, but that's my card.
So, how many people work behind the scenes for a school production, a Broadway national tour, or a stationary Broadway show in New York?
Again.
I can tell you from high school, we had, I think, 4 or 5 stagehands. So 4 or 5 people on each side of the actual thingamabob of the actual stage.
In the wings.
Rolling in like the sets and all that. And then we had like 1 or 2 dressers. For the women, we obviously had to have 2 because their costumes since that time period was like we tried to make our costumes as accurate. So women's costumes usually need 2 people because hard to get into, and then you have a male dresser, and then you have like people who are going to run the lights, which usually take about maybe 2 or 3. So that's let's say that's 10 stagehands total. Well, depending on the production. So 13 plus the 3 or 4 dressers, so 13 or 14. Then for the lights, it usually takes about 2 people, so that's 17. And then sound usually takes 1 person because they need to concentrate on what's going on. So I'd probably say for a small high school production, it'd probably take about maybe between 15 and 20 people. As for the for Broadway productions, obviously, like with Frozen, and Wicked, they need massive like people. So I think one of the crew workers on an interview I watched, I think they said they had like between 45 to 50 people working just on the stage. That's not counting like people like the orchestra and all that. And so, and then like touring, honestly, like the only people who tour on touring theater shows are like the cast, crew, crew, stage manager, director, and then the cast that's at the workers that are at the actual theater who do like tickets and ushering and
okay. So
like
national tours don't have a theater crew that work with them from theater to theater.
Yeah.
The crews are already at the theater preparing to set the show up.
Yeah. So
and then they take it down, load it into the trucks, and then the cast, the crew, leave to the next show, and then the next crew sets it up.
A lot of the time, yes, they try to have more of their own crew on the touring because they know what to do and they can get it done a lot faster. And so the people that are already at set, so like if Wicked was going to come to the Blumenthal Theater here in Charlotte, the workers at the Blumenthal would probably be just doing ushering, like merchandise, ticketing, and stuff like that, like small stuff, because they don't want to get in the way of the actual crew who know how to like, okay, this is where the Oz head goes, this is where these beds go. They know the whole setup, so they work hand in hand together. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So like overall, like high schools and like obviously Broadway shows in New York have a bigger cast because they oh
safe.
It's just almost,
I'm the same way, so don't worry.
I almost knocked over my lamp. That would have been really bad because I have a glass of lemonade right here, so I don't want that to happen. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's that. Let's go on to the next question, please. Oh my god, no! It was like I hit the lampshade, and these lampshades are very like rickety. So yeah. Anyway, okay, Brianna, your turn.
I don't forgot my question after that. Now, oh my gosh, what the heck was my question? I had a good one.
All right, Michael, you want to go again?
Michael, go again.
All right, Mike. Oh god, Mike.
Okay, so this is a question for you specifically.
Daniel. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just now noticed people are in the chat.
Yeah, that's my buddy Daniel over at Griswold from the UK.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry about that, Daniel. Hi, welcome. Anyway, Mike. Anyway, okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna let Mike take it away.
Yeah, this question is specifically for you, Liz.
God.
What quote-unquote areas of a stage show have you worked on, and what was your favorite behind-the-scenes role that you've done?
Okay. Well, I'm trying to. Actually, I have to hang on. I gotta think about this real quick. I helped. I was a set builder and a stagehand for Les Miserables in high school. So I helped build the barricade. And I painted fake books. I remember doing that because my teacher's like, hey, those are too bright. You need to make them darker. I was like, okay. So I repainted those. So I remember doing that. And then at my college, which will be left unnamed, I helped paint a little bit of the Addams Family set. I did a gravestone, a tombstone, which I wanted to keep, but whatever. I only did one because I did not want to mess it up. And then I did the centerpiece that Wednesday comes rolling in doing one normal night. And then I also did a set. I did a set painting for Midsummer. We painted the whole stage, and I helped paint the moon. So I've done more painting and like stage set designing stuff. But like overall, like I enjoy doing the stage setups and all that. But I wanted to do more with the costumes and whatnot because that's what I want to do when I get done with college. I want to be a dresser. So with everything I've seen, and everything that I've done, like I'd have to say the set designing has been my favorite thing, even though that's the most I've done, because I get to actually actually add my touch to like there's this little piece on the moon where there's a little black what is it called, little piece of wood. I accidentally got some black paint on a piece of the moon, and you could see it if you were in the front row. Luckily, the first 2 rows were like closed off because they were using it for the show. But you can see it, and I was like, that's me. So like it's my own little.
Like that's my little spot.
Yeah, and so like same with the tombstones. Like I saw the tombstone I started on, but I didn't finish because I was too scared I was gonna mess it up. I was like, that's me. Yeah, that's my little piece right there. And same thing with the books. I was able to see my books because I made them too bright apparently. And so, yeah, but it's fun. I like doing the set building. It's really fun. And also you get like, paint all over you, and it's like. I painted barefoot, and the bottoms of my feet was so like covered in black paint. It was amazing. So, hey Daniel, feel free to ask questions too. You're more than welcome to ask questions. Brianna, do you remember your question?
Yes, I did. Okay, so my question is, how difficult is it to get the tech stuff set up with the show?
Like define like lighting and sound?
Yes, like lighting and sound and.
Okay, this I can actually answer because I've done this because I had to do it so I took a sound design class this past semester, and I had to create the entire sound design for a play called The Woman in Black. And so very good play. I highly recommend you all read it. It's a horror play and it's so good. I can see why my teacher loves it. So what was I doing? Okay, anyway, so a lot of the time with the certain shows, like they'll collect a whole bunch of like with sound. They'll collect a bunch of sound and like play them for the director and see which ones he likes and where he wants them. And then those sounds that the director narrows down eventually get put into cues, which will eventually be matched up with the lighting. And so you'll have like cue, like on the form it'll say CU1, CU2, CU3 for like Q1, Q2, and then those cues will be lined up with like LC, which is light QA, light QB, like so like light QA will be matched up to light Q, no, not to sound Q1. So like A goes to 1, B, and so on. Y'all know what that means, what I'm talking about. And so once they get those matched, they'll run a few tests on the actual stage, and they'll see what the director thinks. And if he wants them to change it, they'll change it. But I'm not gonna lie, creating a sound cue, like the sound layouts that I had to do for this play, was actually very stressful because I had to write out every single cue, like this sound effect plays when this happens, this sound plays when that happens. And I had to make them like unique and different. So I even recorded some of my own sounds for that sound thing. So I'm taking my lighting design. I'm taking in the fall, which I'm very excited for because I have the same teacher I had. So it's gonna be so much fun.
Yay! That's awesome.
I just want to show a comment.
Yes, it does, and that's great about the class. I love it, especially when you get the same teacher that you had previously. I love that.
Yeah, he knows what I'm capable of. So he I guess I hope he doesn't. I know he's expecting good stuff from me, a lot of stuff from me. So Michael, your turn. Oklahoma, yo, don't even get me started on Oklahoma, Daniel.
Oklahoma.
Okay, anyway, no, not Daniel.
I've never even seen it.
I got a bootleg version.
That is an Instagram conversation for later, Liz.
Yeah. Okay, just ignore that point. Okay, just ignore I said that. Anyway, Mike, your turn. Just go ahead.
Okay. Well, I already have the feeling I know the answers to this question, but if you could work on one musical on Broadway, which would it be and why?
I know the answer.
I already have the feeling I know the answers because I have a feeling there's more than one. Matter of fact, I think there are two, I think there are two in particular that you want to work on.
Actually, depends on the role. If you if we're talking about being a dresser, obviously I would want to be a dresser for Wicked, but like overall, I think I would want to work on Ghost just because of the visual masterpiece that it was and how well they did how well they did that movie, like turn that movie into a Broadway production. I would love to be able to work on that show just to see how they do it. And I'm trying to talk my theater administrator into like, yo, we gotta do Ghosts. Come on, let us do Ghosts because like it's in the archives. You can get the rights for it. We can do it. Let's do it. And I really want to do it anyway. So it would probably be either Ghost or Wicked. Because
I'm surprised you didn't say Frozen.
Well, it's closing.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, even if they did it like on not necessarily Broadway, like it was just in one city, like for a week or two out of the year, then would you consider Frozen as well?
Maybe. Depends on who's playing like the characters and whatnot. But like Ghost and Wicked are easily like probably the two I would love to work on. Brianna.
I don't think I heard of Ghost. The only time I've heard of Ghost was with that movie back in like what, the 80s.
Yeah, they made it's the movie. They made it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they did it.
That's fun fact. That is how I got introduced to Casey Levy. I listened to the music and I found out she was in it. And I was like, oh my god, this woman's amazing. And then it turns out she's also like, oh my god, Molly, you turned into a anyway. Sorry, Molly's the character. If y'all don't know
who the girl crush.
I'm not afraid to admit it. Yes, I have a major crush on Casey Levy, and I also have a coaching session with her in a few weeks. So, anyway, okay, Brianna.
Liz is getting her life right now, and I love it.
I'm very excited. She's gonna help me run monologues, and she's gonna give me tips on how to improve my auditions, and then she's gonna tell me a little bit about the business. So
I remember. You and I had a personal conversation about this, and I said, I'm willing to bet $10 you ask her to sing one of the songs from Frozen.
No,
whether it be Let It Go or Monster.
I said $20 that I'm not going to mention Frozen. I'm not going to mention Ghost. I'm not going to mention anything that she's in because she's there to help me improve my acting skills. She's not there to watch me fangirl. So anyway, next question. We're going to go on a rant about Casey, and then so I would like stay in.
I can't anymore.
Now you see what Brianna has to put up with every day.
Michelle, feel free to if you had questions.
Oh gosh, yeah, but Mike, you ain't that much of a handful. Calm yourself.
Okay, Brianne, your turn.
Handful than you. Anywho, okay, what was my question?
See, it's like
I keep thinking my dang questions because we're getting off topic. Because every time I turn around, Liz has something awesome to say, and I lose track.
I'm just kicking back right now because my legs are falling asleep.
Kick back, Liz. Rest yourself.
My favorite sweater of all time now. No. Yes, my favorite sweater is the sweater that Kyle gave me.
Actually, I think you kind of did answer my question a little bit because you did say that Casey was going to help you with acting. I was about to ask, were you considering acting as well as working backstage? But I think you already answered that question.
Okay. I don't want to. I have all seriousness. I wouldn't mind acting if I can get I've definitely gotten over my stage fright a lot easier, so I'm not as afraid to go and audition. I auditioned for Blythe Spirit, which I'm very proud of myself for doing. I wanted to audition for the 1X, but I couldn't because I was stage managing one of them, and that's just way too much. And so, and I also auditioned for the choreographed showcase that was going to be this semester. And so I did 2 auditions, and I'm very proud of myself for that because I wasn't able to do that in the fall because I wanted to audition for Adams really badly, but I couldn't because A, I cannot sing, and B, I didn't know if I could be able to go in front of everybody and act and do a monologue and whatnot. But now that I know I'm capable of doing it, I have more confidence in myself, so I'm not afraid to go and audition and try out for these. So I plan on auditioning for a whole lot of stuff in the fall.
That's good. That's really good. Because I thought about that too at one point. About going back to school and acting, but
Damn, that's messed up.
Better than me as far as that's concerned, but I really don't know for sure. But that's really great, and I wish. Well, break a leg in the world. Break a leg.
My monologue book. This is like is filled with monologues that I'm gonna make a beautiful. So I have a whole thing, a go-to book for monologues whenever I need to audition for something. So
awesome.
I gotta figure out which monologues I want to do when I'm with Casey. So I gotta make sure they're good and make sure they're actual theatrical ones because I can't do Wicked like I did for my final, which my teacher loved. So
that is awesome.
Okay. Anyway, Mike, wait, Brianne, did you? So you asked.
I wanted to ask about acting, but you basically answered the question for me. So
okay. Mike.
Okay, so
don't be asking me to drop a monologue now.
No.
I wasn't
gonna. My question.
I mean, I would. I honestly would. I'd do a quick monologue. I don't mind. Anyway, Mike, sorry, you continue. I just cut you off.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna shoot this over to Michelle. She just asked a question in the chat.
Oh, okay. What is the typical audition like? The process beforehand, and okay, yay! I can actually answer this with complete and utter confidence because I know how this stuff works. So, the whole basic thing of auditioning, how it works is you obviously show up, and for me, when I was auditioning for Blythe Spirit, they gave you a form. You literally filled it out. Like, would you be okay with Damn, I made an audition form for Wicked for a class, but I don't have it with me. So like it said, like, are you okay with undressing on stage? Are you okay with playing a dude? Are you okay with kissing people? Are you okay with doing this? And obviously I checked yes for everything. And then on the back, you have to put in your availability schedule and all that. And if you had a headshot or a resume, which I did not have, but now I do, you like paperclip that, and then you literally just wait there in the lobby until they call your name or your number. And so it took about, I think, a good 35 minutes before they called me in there. And so they call you and they'll say, hey, you're on deck, which means you go and wait by the door. And you basically wait for them to come out and get you. And so then you go in and you slate when you're so you say, hello, my name's Elizabeth and Elizabeth Oziska, and I'll be doing a piece from blah blah blah. Or you can say, like, I'll be doing blah blah blah, like some character, like I'll be doing Elphaba's monologue from Wicked or something like that. Or if you know, they like it when you know the author. So like if I was doing Brighton Beach Memoir, I'd say, hello, my name's Elizabeth Oziska, and I'll be doing a piece from Brighton Beach Memoir by Neil Simon. Simon? It's either Simon or Smith. I don't know. I'm probably going to get hated on that if any of my friends find out about this. And then you go ahead and do your monologue. And if they like you, sometimes they will be like, well, so the one I did for Blythe, it was, it's from a play called Incendiary about a guy who's obsessed with fire. And so I tried to play it off like because it's supposed to be comedic. And so I wanted to have like a crazy, like, oh, I love fire. And like, I love watching stuff burn, like trying to make it like creepy funny. And so then the director, he was like, can you do it like more like if you were like an 80-year-old hippie woman? And so I had to do it like an elderly lady. And I that's why I messed up because I laughed and I wasn't supposed to. And so if they like you, they'll ask you to do it a few more times, and then they'll be like, thank you, and then you leave. And if you get a call back, which sadly I did not, but with callbacks, they usually do more like chemistry testing with if you're playing love interest with someone. I know for the callbacks for Lobster Boy, when I was doing the stage management for that, we did a lot of like physical work and like actresses to be like, oh, tell us a story. Like, come to the audition and tell us a story. Like, and be like very physical. Like, there'll be more, not more pressure, but they'll want more from you from the audition. And then eventually they'll post the audition list, the cast list. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, then that's the thing with you. Like, you'll get a lot of no's before you get a yes. So, is that answers your question? So, like, you'll usually hear back from them like within, like at my school, you'll hear back from them like within a day or two.
That's pretty cool.
So it's not that bad. It's not as scary as I thought it was going to be when I went to audition.
Yeah. All right. I think it's Mike's turn. You go ahead, Mike. I'll be right back because I have to go take my medicine real quick. I'll be right back, guys.
Go for it.
Okay, so my question is twofold. So, who is one Broadway talent you haven't met yet that you want to meet? And my follow-up question for it is, if you could work with that person on a Broadway show, what show would it be and why?
Oh my god, that's good. I would say I gotta go with my German Netherlands homegirl, Willemijn Verkuyt, who for those who do not know,
Willemijn.
Yeah.
Ja, Queen.
For those who do not know, she is the epitome of Elphaba. If you look up pictures of her, she is Elphaba. I love Idina Menzel. She's definitely my second favorite Elphaba, but Willemijn, she is the embodiment of what Elphaba I feel Elphaba would look like. Anyway, she played
one of the longest running overall between the three countries she's performed in, over 2,000 shows, 3 different languages. I think it's German, Dutch, and English.
Yep. And so
I think she even had a longer overall run playing Elphaba than even Idina Menzel, who was the original.
Idina Menzel only played Elphaba for 2 or 3 years. Willemijn has done it. She's the longest running Elphaba, but just in New York.
Idina only did like 600 to 800 shows.
Yeah, and so I would want to work with her on literally anything. I would love. Ooh, I want to see her play Morticia. I think she'd be a really good Morticia.
Oh, she would be such a good Morticia. I can already tell Willemijn, whether in her Elphaba makeup or not, drop dead, beautiful woman.
It's her eyes.
Like I'm making awesome Morticia with the black dress and the hair and her arms like that. Oh my god.
I'm purely obsessed with her eyes. Her eyes are just bright green. Anyway, I would love to work with Willemijn on the Addams Family musical because I think she'd make a killer Morticia. But anyway, so yeah, that's my answer.
To God, I agree with that.
All right, Brianna.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, guys.
You're good.
Oh gosh, what was my question? Dang it. Okay. Demons. Okay, you just asked who she wanted to meet. What the heck was the question? I'm trying to remember. See, I can't stand when I can't.
Anybody in the chat have any questions?
Yeah, anybody in the chat have any questions while I try to remember mine?
Or if Mike has another question, like Michelle, if you have more questions, feel free to ask. Daniel, Jeff. You guys have any questions?
Who's your favorite male actor? I know who your favorite female is. What about male actor? I don't know.
I'd have to say, either. Oh, what is his name? It's Leslie. I think it's not Leslie Owens. He was in Hamilton. He played Lafayette. Leslie. I can't remember his last name. I'm so sorry. Either him, Jeremy Jordan, or Lin-Manuel Miranda. Those are like my top 3 favorite male.
Wasn't Leslie Odom Jr. in Hamilton?
Who?
Leslie Odom Jr.?
Yeah, wasn't he in Hamilton?
Yeah,
you guys, I actually mentioned him in my Princess and the Frog Broadway Dreamcast. I cast Leslie Odom as Dr. Facilier in my Princess and the Frog Dreamcast.
Oh my gosh, he would nail
that role.
Mike is in the wrong field of work right now. He needs to be on Broadway, making all of these.
That's be the casting. You gotta be the casting director.
Broadway or in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, here, I'll read off the.
Okay, wait, guys. No, we gotta stay focused. Okay, what?
Yeah, Leslie.
If y'all want to check out his Princess and the Frog dream list, go ahead and make sure you check that out on his channel. Okay. So I just want to make sure we stay focused on what we're actually.
Well, actually, I was talking about in reference to what you were saying, Liz, about Leslie Jr. from Hamilton.
All right.
Yeah, I was saying that is a good choice.
Yeah, he would. He would. I think he'd do great in that. Mike, your turn.
Okay, so my question is, and this is specific to Disney on Broadway. If you can meet one Disney on Broadway actor or actress other than Casey Levy or Patty Murin, who would it be?
Okay, can I just say it's Levy, not Levy. It's Levy. I'm sorry,
I said Levy.
You said Levy.
You said Levy, honey.
Okay. Wait, so if I can meet any Disney Broadway actress other than Casey or Patty, who is that? Who?
Yeah, if you can meet one Disney on Broadway actor or actress other than Casey Levy or Patty Murin, who would it be?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know them by names. Casey and Patty are the only two. Oh no. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 sec. What's my with is your favorite movie? Imagine Me and You. Hang on. Give me 1 sec. I just gotta look up the cast real quick. La, la, la.
Who's the current Elsa?
What's her face
From
Sierra Renee.
what?
Sierra Renee.
Yeah.
I loved her when she was on Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, Jelani Aladdin.
Oh yeah, doesn't he play? I think he's the current Aladdin on Broadway, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I want him.
I got to meet Adam Jacobs, who was the original Aladdin at Broadway, and he was such a highlight to meet.
Yeah, but hey, Jeff, answer your question. Imagine Me and You, such a cute movie. I highly recommend you watch it. Michelle asks, "What is y'all's favorite musical?" Y'all know mine. Y'all know mine. I don't even have to tell y'all. It's Wicked.
Yep.
Wicked.
Yep.
But yeah. Okay. So yeah, your turn.
If you could bring back whenever things reopen on Broadway, if you could bring back any music or revive any musical that was in the past, which one would it be?
Okay. I'm torn between this one either because it did not have a long life on Broadway, Ghost, because it wasn't on Broadway for that long. And a lot of people didn't get to see it, which is sad because I've seen it and it's a masterpiece. Like the visual effects in it are breathtaking. That or just because I wasn't able to see it when my school did it. And I've said this to everybody at my school and everyone who knows me, you can vouch and be like, oh, she said that to me. When I was at Disney, my college did Annie Get Your Gun, and I've always wanted to see Annie Get Your Gun, and I wasn't able to see it because of Disney, and so I want to bring back Annie Get Your Gun, just so I can see it. But yeah, so go for Annie Get Your Gun, just because.
Nice.
Because it's
nice.
I just forgot the main song from it.
So,
there's no biz. It's like showbiz. Yeah, that's
Mike, what about you? I mean,
okay. Well, I'll answer this in two parts. So my favorite non-Disney Broadway musical is hands down Phantom of the Opera. The music, the concept of it is just, I don't know what it is. It's so entrancing.
What? Which one?
Phantom of the Opera. And I know that's kind of a funny word to use, entrancing, because Christine spends a lot of her time in a trance with the Phantom. But yeah, I'd have to say Phantom. Now, my favorite Disney on Broadway one, hands down, The Lion King.
That's because you haven't seen Frozen yet.
We both haven't seen Frozen yet. We were
I've seen clips of it. It definitely looks cool, but it's like I grew up loving The Lion King, and when I see clips of it, it's just amazing.
No,
the way they brought the movie to the stage, and it's so good. And that's also why I love Festival of the Lion King in Animal Kingdom, because it's like 2 pegs below the Broadway show.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It really is. I can honestly say that.
So yeah, non-Disney musical. Disney musical, The Lion King. Brianna?
Oh yeah, wait. Well, to answer Michelle's quite well. I think I already. Well, I've only ever seen 2 musicals on Broadway. Well, I'm without having to go to New York, and that was Lion King and Wicked. So, I mean, non-Disney Wicked, Disney Lion King. And that's only because those are the only 2 I have seen. I would have loved to have seen Frozen. I was actually going to surprise someone for his birthday with a trip to New York to go see Frozen. But that's unfortunately not going to happen now because they are closing. So now I have to come up with something else for his birthday.
They're gonna probably bring it back. They're probably gonna bring it back because it's too magnificent of a show. But
Mike, if they bring it back, we're taking a trip to New York and we're going.
Excuse me, what about me?
Liz, you can come too.
You live in South Carolina. You can probably drive to New York faster than it would take us there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we don't have to fly.
Okay, so getting back on topic, whose turn was it?
Well, I just asked the question, so it would really be
Mike's.
I believe it would be mine.
Yes.
Okay, so, and this is for both of you, or I guess rather all of us. What is a Disney film or films that you would like to see adapted to Broadway?
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Okay, hold on. Here's my thing. Not every Disney movie should be made into a Broadway show. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So like, I heard rumors about them putting Hercules into a Broadway show. No, don't do Hercules. Don't do any of the old timey kind of. I almost possibly see maybe Princess and the Frog being on Broadway. But like shows like a Broadway show. But like overall, like, not every movie should be turned into a Broadway show. A, because it's a lot of money, and B, a lot of times it's not as good. It's just the only reason why Frozen looks so well because the main story behind it is what the whole show is basically leaning on, and also they also have a killer cast, but like also because it was such a phenomenon that like they're like, okay, let's do this, and it actually turned out to be a big thing, and so that's my answer. I don't have a choice of what Disney movie I want to be on Broadway. I don't want to see any actually. The fact that they did Frozen I was scared because I was like, oh God, they're going to ruin it. They're going to destroy it. Olaf's going to look creepy. Sven's going to scare poor kids. But it's just, it's not something that, it's same thing with turning Broadway shows into movies. Not all of them should be turned into movies. So that's my answer. I don't have a specific one.
Before I even answer that, Liz, I hate to burst your bubble, but unfortunately there is a soundtrack out for Hercules. The musical is not necessarily on Broadway, and Mike and I did actually get to hear previews of it at the Festival of Arts, so I hate to burst your bubble, but that did happen.
But now,
I guarantee you it's not going to see Broadway.
We can get into that late. I can get into that with you later off stream if you would like to discuss it. But that being said,
but also on that note, from what we heard of Hercules on Broadway, it actually sounded really good.
It did.
It had someone who played Nala in The Lion King and one of the genies from Aladdin singing Zero to Hero, and they actually did it really good.
A Star is Born as well. That one.
Yeah, they did Star is Born, which actually it sounded really good.
Yeah, and he's saying
Go the Distance.
Yeah, I can go the distance. Yeah, which
that was more based on the Michael Bolton pop version.
Yeah.
Than the Broadway version.
Yeah, but to answer that, I would have to agree with Liz on that. Not everything needs to be turned into a Broadway musical. Not everything even needs to be turned into a movie. Like I still haven't seen Lady and the Tramp yet because I'm terrified. I'm terrified to look at it, but I'm going to probably watch it sometime next week after I finish taking all my notes for Phantom of the Opera.
Actually, it's not that bad.
But something I would like to see on Broadway. I mean, it was already on Broadway. I really wanted to see The Little Mermaid, but I guess I'll just have to wait for the movie. I guess I'll just have to wait and go see the movie with Mike. I don't know, but maybe Princess and the Frog. I remember as a little kid, I really wanted to see maybe Pocahontas on stage. I
Oh,
really don't know after that. After I saw a live show as a child in Animal Kingdom, because they would have to do Grandmother Willow. They would need Miko and Percy.
yeah, and they probably just
I was scared of Grandmother Willow when I saw that show in Disney World when I was like 5, 6 years old. But
yo,
so I really wouldn't know about that right now. So I would
yo,
actually
hear me
go
out. Hear me out.
or Princess and the Frog. I don't think Brave would probably do well.
Yo, hear me out. I got an idea. Hear me out. Figment on Broadway. No, I'm just no.
No, Liz.
Turn your imagination on Broadway.
Liz, I think you killed my boyfriend, Michael.
All right, Brianna, your turn.
I'm sorry, I'm dead.
Liz, you killed my boyfriend, Michael. Honey, you okay?
Brianna, your
No,
turn.
I'm dead.
I had to say it. I had to.
Okay.
Brianna, your turn.
Okay. All right. Let me just calm down for a minute, collect myself, because that was just hysterical. But at the end of the day, if they brought it back, I would love to see Little Mermaid because I really wanted to see that on stage. I would take Michael, obviously, because that's his favorite princess other than me.
Better.
But hush. But I would also like to see Princess and the Frog, and maybe they could do something with Tangled. But I don't know. Tangled. But my question for you is, God, I just had it too. Me and these questions are not hitting.
Oh, I don't get to answer it?
Fine, honey.
No.
Don't answer the dang question.
Okay, well, obviously, so like we said, I think Princess and the Frog would be awesome on Broadway. I mean, the music, it's full of possible good dance numbers. Dig a little deeper with a full background ensemble, singing and dancing would look awesome on Broadway, I think. Hercules, I mean, I think that would be a little weird adapting it to Broadway just because of some of the mythological creatures that they encounter in the film.
Yeah, that would be
But
different.
From what we heard when they sang Zero to Hero, Go the Distance, and A Star is Born, it sounded really good as a Broadway, in that Broadway caliber of singing. And it's like, I'm probably a little biased because I've met these people, but I have a few ideas on who I would cast in some of the roles. And the same with Princess and the Frog. But anywho,
Brianna, question.
Princess and the Frog. If I find a way to hear the Hercules on Broadway soundtrack, I'll probably be able to judge it then. And then definitely, I would love it if they brought back the Little Mermaid because I love Ariel. I love Sierra Burgess, who was the original Ariel. She was also in Phantom. So if she ever performs the Epcot and I get to meet her, like, rest in peace, me, I can die.
Not yet. Shush.
So anyway, Brianna, your question.
That was my question, actually. I thought, okay. Mike is actually next because I was the one who asked which musical. I asked the musical one, but
Sorry, I just saw something.
oh, and by the way, hi Landon. I didn't realize you were on here. Hi,
Landon is one of Daniel's sons.
Yeah, hi Landon and hi Adric. If you're
Oh yeah, although it's funny now that I've shaved, I don't remember if it was Daniel or Landon, but they say that Adric looks older than me.
Oh my
And if
god.
I recall,
Adric is 13 years old.
I think Adric is the oldest son.
He is. He's 13.
And it's like, I'm annoyed because I'm almost 25 and I'm getting told that the 13-year-old is older than me. Like, how sad is that? And that's why I hate shaving.
Well, I'm sorry.
But it's like I had to because the masks that I have to wear at work really look at my mustache and it itches like crazy.
Yeah.
When I'm on the line making food, I can't, touch my face.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I have to change my gloves, wash my hands.
Yeah, I know. It's a struggle. I'm sorry.
I got tired of dealing with the itch.
Oh, sorry. I know it's a struggle. Oh, don't forget on the 20th you got to wear one to Disney Springs, but that.
Anyway, let's get back on topic, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm like crying right now.
Why? Why the tears?
Like, long story short, I just saw a comment on my Facebook, and I just like it made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and it made me turn red. So it just.
Aww.
Anyway, so whose turn was it?
It's Mike's because I already asked the question.
Sorry, Liz. No, you don't need to be sorry. Don't ever be sorry. Hey, Mike, you're done.
Good question.
Didn't you have a whole list written out?
For real?
Yeah, I had 7 questions written out. I asked 6 of them because I felt one of the questions closely resembled one I already asked, so I skipped it.
Ah. Oh God. Y'all.
Anyone else have any questions in the chat that they want to ask? Comes up with something.
Yeah, if y'all want, if there's something about theater y'all curious about, feel free to ask. Like, this is your shot. That this is a no judge zone. I've been asked a lot of weird questions.
Okay, well, while Mike comes up with a question, I'll ask one to Liz.
What's up?
What do you think the chances are that Rent would be revived on Broadway?
I feel like this is gonna be really bad. I feel like now, like if News Broadway opens, I feel like right now would be a great time because we have Corona, and then also with Rent, we're dealing with like another killing virus, and like it's just like kind of it reminds you to like I don't know about everybody else, but like, it kind of reminds you to be like live your life to the fullest because you never know when you're gonna die. It's a very dark way to say it, but like, have you seen any of the plays I mentioned earlier? Which plays did you mention earlier? Hold up now.
I think he mentioned Oklahoma.
I know I haven't seen that. I haven't even seen the movie.
And he mentioned The Lost Colony.
No, I have not seen any of those.
I really haven't.
Have you heard of them?
Oh, I've heard of them. Yes. I've heard of them. I have the I have the soundtrack for Oklahoma on my phone, and I'm not sorry for that. Yeah. Wait, did I answer Brienne's question first? Brienne's question? Did I answer your question?
Oh yeah, like you said, considering what's going on right now with the pandemic, the pandemic and everything, it would be a good time to bring Rent back. Because I haven't even seen the original. I've only seen the movie and the live. Well, the live.
No, we don't talk about that. We do not mention that awful thing
that happened. The only good thing about that show. Let's be clear. The Next 100 once again saved the show. She saved Grease and she saved
nothing saved that show. That was an awful show, and I will live by that to the day I die. Everybody, the cast was great. It's just the audience was awful. They shouldn't have had a live audience because they would not shut up and they would not stop cheering. You could not hear them. So that along with the fact that they had to censor everything, they censored La Vie Boheme, which kind of made me mad. The whole thing was a disaster. They did not have enough time to practice it. I guarantee I could put on a better show, but I do believe that Rent should be revived soon. But the thing is, they don't want to. They want to be. If they do, they have to be very careful about who they cast because again, you're living up to people like Idina Menzel, Tracy. I don't remember her last name. Like the original cast. Who like I know one of the guys is on Flash now, and my God, I love him singing for like hours on end. But yeah, I do hope like
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. Who's on Flash? That's my favorite show, so I know who you're talking about. But anywho,
Yeah, if it was up to me, I would have revived it like way earlier because I know like it would do really well because Rent. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Anyway, Liz, we need to see a little more passion from you, please.
I think you just saw it right there.
I'm
No,
sorry,
you-
Griswold mainly vacate.
No,
If you see any more passion out of Liz, she will literally explode on
No,
camera.
you all don't want to see passion? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go. Okay, no, I can guarantee you when we do the Addams Family live stream, you'll see passion then because I freaking love that. And if we do that or like when we do, let me see, we do like
Liz.
what?
Da-da-da-da.
When you're on Addams.
I had to do it.
Michael saw my whole damn because we were watching it the other day. Michael saw my whole dance of it and it was amazing. But yes, don't worry. You'll. Why do you think the musical get more notice than plays for Broadway? That's actually a good question because there's plays that then you've mentioned, Liz, that I've never heard. Okay, so that's actually a very good question, Michelle. So I think the fact that musicals noticed a lot more is because of the music. I think honestly is because you can sell the music, you can make CDs and albums off the music from the musical, and so they get remembered more. Whereas for plays, like you can't really you can sell like small merchandise and all that kind of stuff. But you can't sell like the show itself because then it's really no point in seeing it. So that's why like I guess that's why a lot of people frown on bootlegs. But anyway, because like
No comment on that.
I mentioned like Blythe Spirit, which is like my favorite play of all time, and I'm so sad that we didn't get to do it in my school. Roger Sweet, which is also a very good one that I highly recommend because I saw it and some of my friends and my acting teacher were in it, and oh my gosh, I've never felt so uncomfortable and yet so amazing. Anyway, that's the point. Point is, I think that's really the music aspect of it. I think is what really separates the play from music because you can what.
I'm sorry, I just saw Griswold openly vacates comment, which I'm not going to disagree with it. I'm not going to disagree.
But yeah, I think
three between Mike and I on that.
But yeah, I think with between musicals and plays, more people are more interested in seeing the musicals because you can take the music home, you can sing it along with your family, and they're more memorable than the plays are. So I hope that answers your question. Mike, do you remember your question?
Yes.
What?
So, who would your dream Broadway cast be? It doesn't matter the show. If you could take any if you could take any Broadway actors or actresses and put them together onto one show, who would you pick?
Oh gosh, here we
Willamine,
go.
obviously, I'm gonna just say that right now. Willamine would definitely be a part of that cast. Oh God, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Julie Andrews, Stephanie J. Block, Norbert, something from he's the original Figaro. I cannot remember his last name. Jeremy Jordan, Leslie.
Odom Jr.
Thank you. I'm like blanking. I'm trying to. Adina Menzel.
Norm Lewis.
Huh?
Norm Lewis.
Yes.
I think you mentioned Leslie Odom Jr. earlier.
Yes. That's just like a general like.
Oh, and here's a name. Here's a name I could throw out as a recommendation. Michael James Scott. Or sorry, not Michael James Scott. James Monroe Iglehart.
Yes, definitely add him into the list. But like, I don't know what show we would do, but that's like if I could have like that or this is gonna sound so cheesy. I hope to God none of my friends from school are watching this, but just like all of us, like all of my friends from school, all of us working on one big show in Broadway. Oh my God, we would never get anything done because we would be like goofing off so much. So yeah, like Napert, Shannon, Nevaeh, Eli, Jillian, Ashley, Erica, all of my friends, we all just like worked on one big Broadway show. That would be amazing. That'd be so much fun.
But it would also probably run pretty seamlessly because you all work with one another and you know all how you work.
Yeah, we all know like we click because we've done it before. So
that would be one smooth running show, I would have to say.
Especially because a lot of them are really serious about the. Anyway, Brianna, your turn.
Oh, okay. I just thought of a really good one. So,
Okay, say it before you forget it.
okay, so one of my favorite, most recent movies is The Greatest Showman. Now, Liz, who, if they were to put that on Broadway, which I've heard rumors of them possibly doing that, who do you think, who would you like to see star in it? And second question would be,
I have a few ideas for this.
Maybe not hate.
Mike. Second question would be, would you also bring Hugh Jackman back as P.T. Barnum?
Honestly,
Mike, not your turn.
Like so hard to bite my tongue.
honestly, I wouldn't want to bring Hugh Jackman back because I want it to be a whole new, fresh cast. Because like he's known for the movie. That's awesome. He killed it in the movie. Don't get me wrong. I love him and he did great in it. But I would want to see like
Fresh face.
maybe I don't really know off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of any of the characters.
Because Hugh Jackman also does Broadway as well. That's why I said, would you
Yeah.
probably bring him back?
He got his Broadway debut as Gaston in the Australian cast of Beauty and the Beast.
Shoshana Bean as the bearded lady. I'd like to see her as that.
Well, why would you do that to Shoshana? Why would you put her in that role?
No, the bearded lady the bearded lady is one of the most inspirational songs I've heard in a very long time. And that song
This is me, right?
What?
This is me, right?
Yeah.
Is that the song you're thinking of?
Yeah, no, yeah, this is me.
Yeah.
And I think Shoshana would kill that song. Like she would kill it.
Oh yeah.
As for
Okay. If I were to make a recommendation for that cast, not as P.T. Barnum, but as the guy who eventually takes over the circus, who was played by Zac Efron in the film, Jeremy Jordan would be great as the character that Zac Efron played in the film.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
No one cares. It doesn't matter.
And who would I have as Zendaya's character? I'm trying to think.
That was a good question.
Not Carol Lindsay, but who was the Broadway actress we saw at Epcot who also played Catherine at one point? What was her name?
I know who you're talking about. Oh gosh. It's killing me. I don't know her name.
Well, when in doubt, Instagram. I know I have her in one of my posts.
Yes, you do.
Yes. Yes.
Liana Hunt.
Yeah.
Liana Hunt. And to answer Daniel's question real quick, yes, Zac Efron was Troy Bolton for High School Musicals 1, 2, and 3.
Yes,
Although, funny thing, Zac didn't even sing in High School Musical 1.
He was not on the concert show because A, it was originally Drew Seeley who sang in the first movie, and B, he was filming Hairspray the movie at that time. But he was there because he was still dating Vanessa Hudgens.
So Drew Seeley, who did some of the singing in High School Musical, Zac did do some of his own singing, but Drew filled in the bits that Zac couldn't.
So basically, he was on.
Yeah. So then Drew went on the High School Musical tour with the cast from the first film.
Yeah.
But then for High School Musical 2 and 3, Zac had time to develop his voice more, and he did all of his own singing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he had done Hairspray by the time they started filming for High School Musical 2, so he was already good to go for the sequels.
Yeah.
And then Michelle's comments. When Greatest Showman first came out, I really thought at the beginning it was based on a Broadway musical.
I can see that.
I can see that too. But then her follow-up comment of, I heard that Hugh Jackman became well-known in America for Broadway in Oklahoma.
I know him as Wolverine.
Well, yeah, that's when he became famous on the big screen, was Wolverine.
You know, that's how I was introduced to him
Look,
but Hugh got his Broadway start.
The first time I ever heard Hugh Jackman sing was in Les Miserables, the movie. That was the first time I ever heard him. Now let's bring it back.
Which he did good as Jean Valjean.
Yes, as Jean Valjean. That's the first and only time I've ever heard that man sing. until Greatest Showman, and he did a phenomenal job. I was surprised. But to bring it back to Broadway, Liz Dreamcast for Greatest Showman, should it ever be on Broadway? And I think it should because it's awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. No, not even on Broadway. I think they should actually do it as like a legit circus type of thing. Have it like in New York, like have it like in Central Park or something, and have like an actual legit circus. That way you can get all the animals in there. But don't make them like make them actual animals.
I can see that.
Anyway,
you
okay.
got hit broad.
Get back on track. Who's next?
Michael.
Well, I'm just asking my question.
Yeah, it's Brianna.
About about Liz's Dream Broadway cast. So Brianna, it's on you.
I asked about her Dream Greatest Showman cast. So
her Dream Greatest Showman cast. Okay.
Or at least who she thinks should be in it. Should they put it on Broadway?
Can I just say one last thing before Mike asks his next question? I've seen Greatest Showman like 7 times. Like just recently, I realized that it was about P.T. Barnum. I honestly thought it was about the circus. I didn't know it was about P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, it was about how P.T. Barnum.
See, I didn't know that. I was just.
It was about how P.T. Barnum got the Barnum and Bailey Circus to what we all know today.
I don't even know who that is, and I don't really care. Anyway, question.
And then before Mike goes to his question, fun fact: apparently they're supposed to be making a sequel to Greatest Showman. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm excited. Mike, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked the question earlier of what Disney film would you like to see on Broadway? Now I'm going to flip it and say, what Broadway show would you like to see brought to film?
Okay. Here's my thing. Oh, okay. First off, okay. I'm trying to correct myself. Okay. I would love to see Dear Evan Hansen as a movie. I think Dear Evan Hansen would be a great movie. Wicked. Here's my thing. They were supposed to release Wicked in 2019. But the only reason why they delayed it for so long, they keep delaying it because they cannot decide whether to make it off the book or off the musical. Here's the thing: make it off the book. The book has so many more details. And I talked about this in the Wicked lesson that me and Michael did. There's so much more in the book that's not in the musical, and I just feel like the book would be such a much more fascinating movie. And I swear to the heavens above and to the hells below, if you cast Ariana Grande as Elphaba, I will shoot myself. No, not really. But
oh my God. Okay, you know what? First.
No. I could think of 100 casting options to play Elphaba before Ariana Grande.
Wait a minute. I was actually in high school when I saw Wicked. I was either my sophomore or junior year of high school when my mother took me to the Times Union Center in Jacksonville, Florida to see Wicked the musical. Now, after that, I YouTubed that thing like crazy to watch it again. And that's when I saw that it was originally Idina Menzel as Elphaba. And I fell madly in love with it all over again. If it's not Idina Menzel, the first name I heard was Nicole Scherzinger, which I can kind of see to a point because at the time she was awesome.
Brianna, breathe. Okay, first off, take a deep breath.
I can't.
Now that you've calmed you've calmed down. Idina Menzel cannot be Elphaba again because she's obviously not that she's too old, that she cannot sing those same notes as she did when she did it. Okay, that role literally damaged her voice. She got surgery on her vocal cords because of that performance. But she would not be able. If she does, then they're gonna have to auto-tune her voice.
Sounds sad.
So.
And I mean, when you do take a Broadway singer's voice and you auto-tune it, it doesn't sound the same. It sounds so weird.
Unless they overlay it with the actual album.
I know that even happened. I just knew that she had retired from Broadway or that she quit Broadway. But I didn't know all that happened because when I heard her, when I saw Frozen the movie and the sequel, I didn't think anything of it because I was like, okay, this takes me back to when I was YouTubing Wicked like nobody's business.
Well, you see, recording a film soundtrack is a different caliber than a Broadway count.
They use different. They use a different type of mic, really, and then this is a great time to talk about mics because there are 2 different types of mics in theater, and even when they're recording, you have omnidirectional mic, and then you have I don't remember the other kind. Daniel would be very disappointed in me. Like omnidirectional, it records the sounds from all around, and then you have the kind that you actually see them actually talking into the animated movies, which is one directional. And so usually with movies and films, they'll use the one directional mic. But with theater, they tend to use the omnidirectional when they're recording the music because that way they can catch the reverb as it bounces off the walls. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Well, yeah, because in any given Broadway show, an actor or actress will have 2 microphones. They'll have one along their jawline, but then they'll have one hidden in their hairpiece or right there at the tip of their forehead. Now, I think the one on their jaw is used for when they're speaking because their voice isn't as loud. But then when they're singing, they use the one more on their forehead because they're projecting their voice so much that it would create a lot of backfeed from the one on their jaw. So then they switch to the one on their forehead.
They actually stopped using it on the jawline. They moved it up to it. Now, whenever if you look at any picture of like Broadway shows or whatnot, you'll see the little mic. Unless it's like a photo shoot or something, obviously they're not gonna put the mic on them. If you say point, you can see the mic on. Usually backup mics are on the actual costume itself. Like with Elphaba, the backup mic is inside the hat, like it's really on the edge of the hat. So that way, it's in the same position as the one on her that's actually on her. So that way it still catches the same kind of sound waves, so it doesn't sound too different. So that way the audience.
Yeah, because I think I've noticed that because in the little pre-show video they showed before the Disney on Broadway shows, they showed some clips of Adam Jacobs as Aladdin, and you can actually see the microphone right there on the edge of his forehead.
Yeah. So okay, I hate to be like a stick in the mud. So we're gonna ask we have time for like maybe a few more 2 or 3 more questions, and then we're gonna have to wrap this up because I have other chores to do, mainly dog related. But all right. So yes.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna ask a question. So you said if they were to make a film based on Wicked, they should use more of the book material than the show material. Yes. But now, would you like them to bring some of the songs from the musical to that film?
If they can tie it in without making it sound like out of place, yes. So like I'm trying to think.
Well, obviously, the one song, the song that shall not be named, the one song that you don't like because of the line that Elphaba says at the end.
Yes,
I know that is one song you would not like brought in, but like Defying Gravity. For Good. I'm sorry I'm talking over you, but like Defying Gravity and For Good, would those be songs you would like to see brought in?
Again, if you can find a place where it won't seem out of place, so as long as you mind, like they could have an instrumental version playing during that scene in the book, like that part of the book, have it playing instrumental, or like. Have it like work into like the dialogue somehow, but like as long as it in the context.
That's a good point.
As long as it fits within the context, I don't mind. Don't have her like just randomly burst in a song and start singing Defying Gravity when she's talking to the wizard. Don't have that. Just, like, make it like balance it out, a fair balance between the movie and the book and the Broadway musical. Brianna, do you have any other questions?
I'm still trying to calm down from my little rant about Wicked going to the big screen. Oh gosh, okay. I talked about Wicked. What other Broadway show?
Do you have any questions about theater itself, like the jobs or like the different roles or aspects of how theater is put on?
On the last show that you actually worked on, did you say that you worked on the set, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long of a process was that?
So I didn't actually build it. I painted it. So painting it alone took, I'd have to say, at least the main colors of it, like the base color, took about at least 3 or 4 hours. and then go in and add the little design, the little creases and the actual detail to make it look like stone. That took about another 2.5 to 3 hours, and then we had to paint the entire stage a bright kind of like shiny black to make the moon pop more. Actually, I may have actually a picture on here. Hang on, give me 1 sec. But like I know Adams didn't take as long because mainly it was all separate pieces and it wasn't all connected on the moon. Hang on. I really have to go to the bathroom too.
Trust me, I understand. I held it as long as I could before I was like, nope, gotta go take my medicine and do this. So yeah.
Okay, well, it's not the best, and also because I have a filter on it, but it's gonna do. Okay. So, I don't know if y'all can see it. Can you turn the brightness down on here? Okay, so not that. Okay, so here's like the stage. Like that was a little moon that we painted. And then we had to paint the arches, and then the stage down here we painted with like giant rollers. So we had to like, you can see all like the different creases and lines and stuff in there. We had to do that like separately after we put the base color on. So that alone took a while. It was fun because we actually had a lot of people come out and help. And also I was home covered in paint, and it was fun because it was like a memorable moment. So does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay, Mike.
Yes.
Question.
I don't have any questions, but there was something you mentioned earlier about how certain films that have been made into Broadway shows or vice versa, how they will nod to their predecessors. I just made a note of that because there's a good example that I've discovered recently, but I wrote it down so that way I can allude back to it at another time.
Okay. You guys have any last questions? Anybody else in the chat section have any like last questions about theater, like the different jobs, the how the whole process of putting on a show goes, or any of that? I mean, I could talk about that anyway, but what?
So you did Addams Family in high school, I think, right?
No, Addams Family was in college. Les Miserables was in high school.
Okay, so you did Addams Family in college. How many dressers?
No, but technically, yes.
Well, yeah, you weren't a full-time.
I wasn't official. I didn't officially help with I helped on the sides in a way, yes.
But now, so how many dressers were in the college production for Addams Family compared to, say, if it were on Broadway?
Okay, so Broadway shows usually they try to have they want to have like one dresser per cast member because like obviously the backstage is really cramped and they don't have room for everybody. And so like I know Elphaba has one, Glinda has, or sometimes Elphaba and Glinda will share a dresser. But I know for Adam, I think I might be absolutely 100% wrong about this, but I think all the guys they took care of their own costumes. I think I honestly think the only person who had a dresser or who needed a dresser was probably either Morticia or not Jillian, or Wednesday, because they had two costumes. Well, I mean, everyone had more than one costume, but not almost. Mainly Morticia, because she had her Act 1 dress and then she had her Act 2 dress where the bottom part comes off. And so I think I will not name the actress because I do not want her. She does not want to be mentioned. I do not want to do that. And also, she's my friend. I think she and Wednesday were probably the only two who really needed a dresser because they had the two costumes. Because I know the Ghost had to help Morticia with her thing at the end because they come back and wrap it around her waist and flip it back on. Which that's gotta wait till we do the actual ass. Y'all, I told some stories about that production that I cannot wait to tell y'all. But I'm gonna save it. But usually with more college or like high school level productions, you really only have like one or two dressers.
Okay, so yeah, Michelle asked a more specific question on that. She said, so with people who help actors get in and out of costume, when you see someone changing on stage or another person helping someone change on stage, is that a fellow actor or is it one of the costumers in a costume?
A lot of the time, it is a cast member on stage, so, like the ancestors for Morticia. They are told exactly by the dresser what to do. Like, they're told, okay, you need to unclip it here so you don't rip it, or even though that didn't never really happen. But a lot of the time, they want people who are changing on stage or like ensemble, but they're like pulled to the side, like okay, you need to do it exactly this way, and this way. If it's on stage, a lot of the time when it's off stage, it's usually the dresser. Does that answer the question?
So basically, you're saying a member of the ensemble will be taught how or has some experience with being a dresser. So that way they know how to handle the costume.
Exactly.
All right. And speaking of dressers, do you want to tell the funny story of how you had to help someone change their costume backstage?
Okay. It's a long story. Long story short, I was helping out in his own high school. Mike thought it was Adams Family. I wish to God it was, but it wasn't. But I was helping out with a production. I will not name this production for legal reasons. No, not really. Just joking. That was a joke. For anybody who did not understand that, it's a joke. Anyway, so there was a piece of this actress's costume that was missing, and so we kept our costumes down the hall in a storage room, and we had a whole bunch of other costumes from other high school productions that we did. And so one of her pieces got separated from the costume, and she had to go on stage in like 5 minutes. So we were telling about her dressing room, trying to find dressing room because they all shared one. We ain't rich. They don't have individual dressing rooms. We can't afford that unless they wanted a bathroom. So we looked everywhere for it. Even the people who were not on stage doing they were helping us look for it. We couldn't find it. So I go into a headset. I'm like, hey, Mr. Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he wants to mention on this or not. We can't find this piece. Do you know where? Have you seen it? He's like, go check the costume room, and I was like, okay. So being a crew member, I had keys to the room, so I didn't have to go up all the way to the sound booth and get the keys from him. And so I told the actress, hey, go wait inside the wing for as long as you can, without making it. I'll be as quick as I can. So I literally had no more than like maybe 2 or 3 minutes to go down the hall, find this costume amongst all of this tiny little piece. It was like a little belt thing. This tiny little piece amongst all these other costumes. And I had to, luckily I found it was on the floor where it should not have been. And so I had to grab that and I had to run. And I took my shoes off because I apparently run faster when I'm barefoot. And so I'm running down the hall into the backstage backstage through the back rear part of the theater, and I come up into the wing, and like it's literally like no more than like 10 or 15 seconds before she goes on, and I literally went up to her as she was like starting to walk slowly onto the stage, and I clipped it on around her waist, and I like tumbled back, so I waited the audience went through. Of course, people who were sitting in the front row on the far right side, they are funny because you can see inside the wing. Anyway, because we didn't have big fancy curtains like we have at my college. It was literally just a wall. We didn't have curtains to extend it anymore. So, and so yeah, I had all that happen within a span of like 5 or 6 minutes, and I never felt so stressed out in my life because this piece like hid the fact that her dress was 2 separate pieces, and so yeah.
I'm so glad you just crammed like a 3 or 4 minute story into like a minute and a half.
Yeah, see, that kind of shows you like what being a dresser entails. Like you have to be ready for anything that if the costume rips, if there's a malfunction, or if a piece of it falls off the hanger because somebody didn't hang it up properly, you have to be ready for that.
Musa, Liz. Musa.
Yeah. So, I mean, but overall, I want to be a dresser for a theater. I want to be a dresser for Wicked when I'm done with college. Like that's my OG. Matter of fact, I just want to work on Broadway. I don't care what show I work on. I just want to work on Broadway.
Yeah, because I think you missed Roshana. You had a conversation with her. You told her what you were going to school for, and she said to you, "Oh, once you're done with school, message me, and I'll let you work with me on the show.
No, that's not something I wanted to broadcast. So thank you. That's something I wanted to keep between me and her. So thank you for sharing that little tidbit of information that I wish that people did not know. So lost something in my life that I would not have people know. So thank you.
I doubt she will ever see this.
I'm not worried about her.
No.
Well, you can always go back and edit this and cut that bit out.
I don't want to edit this. It's all part of my live stream. I don't want to.
I'm sorry, Liz. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's the question.
I feel better. Do you want me to slap him for you?
If you can, that'd be great. Okay, last minute questions, y'all. We're gonna start wrapping this up soon. Going once.
I got a real quick one.
Okay, what's up?
Okay, well, I'm not sure if you've seen any of the Descendants movies on Disney Channel. Do you think they'll possibly ever go to Broadway?
Maybe the first one I can see going to Broadway. The other two definitely not. But I can definitely see the first one having the potential to be on Broadway. Maybe not Broadway, but like maybe on in Chicago or one of the smaller theaters.
Oh yeah, well, because I think that could work because Kenny Ortega, who actually directed
the movie.
Actually, no, I don't think they're gonna do that because, and I hate having to mention this because rest in peace, Cameron Boyce passed away. I don't think they're not gonna do anything else with Descendants because kids know him as Carlos. So we miss Cameron Boyce. I loved him, and I was so upset when I found out that he passed.
Yeah, I was shocked more than anything. That was very sad.
If Cameron were still with us and not in the Silver City, so
probably.
to speak.
Yeah, well, it depends because Broadway shows take a lot of money to put on.
And he probably wouldn't have gone back as Carlos. He probably would have gone back as someone else.
He probably wouldn't have gone back at all.
He might be able to tweak the show a little bit, but
he probably wouldn't have gone back at all because the third one was supposed to be the last movie.
Well, yeah, that is true, but unfortunately he left before.
Well, like, what if they do a traveling concert, kind of like High School Musical, the concert?
Yeah, they won't be able to do that.
Yeah, he won't be able to do that because of his condition.
True.
Okay, so
anyway.
No more questions, everybody?
Going once.
Going twice?
Call, it's time for us to take our bows.
Okay, so quick, just to let y'all know. So we like I said, we're gonna try to do these as often as possible. The next one we are gonna do is Phantom of the Opera. And we're gonna be doing shows like I actually have a little here. We're gonna be doing like shows like obviously the Addams Family, because we have to. We'll be doing like Les Miserables. We'll be doing plays too, like Life Spirit, Plaza Suite. Maybe we'll do some of the productions I'm doing at school because I'll actually know what I'm doing, so I can take notes on that. So we'll be like we're doing Sister Act again, 1984. So if you guys have suggestions for plays or musicals you want us to do, they have to have been on Broadway. They can't be musical movies. They have to have been on Broadway at some point. If it's a play, it has to be like a full legit play. It could be made into a movie, but it cannot be a movie made into a play. Those don't work. We may do some sequels, we're also debating about that. So more than likely we'll probably do a few. Not entirely sure. But if you guys still haven't gotten a chance, you can go to subscribe to these two awesome people and check out some of their content. You guys have anything else to say before I end it?
Nothing for me. I think all that's left for us is to take our bows and
couldn't call everybody.
Yep. I think all that's left for us is just take our bows and close the curtains.
Hopefully next time we will be able to get Michelle on here with us. Unfortunately, she was not able to. She was having technical problems, but she still joined with us in the chat. A big shout out to Michelle for still sticking with us. So, all right. So that's pretty much it, everyone. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again when we're ready to discuss Phantom of the Opera, which I still need to go and watch completely because I haven't watched it all the way through.
Hey, you have a lot of work to do, Missy.
I just watched the movie again, so
It's a process. It's not a very it's not a show that I'm very crazy about. So it's kind of hard for me to watch it. And also, I'm very picky. You saw how I went off on that Phantom's mask. Like how I was like, oh my god, that was horrid. Anyway, so
So we will take our bows. Liz, you can go first. I'll take mine.
oh sure,
Brianna?
Wait, yeah, okay, yeah. There you go. Bow.
we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
And there's Curtin.
The bow since high school. Okay.